break, I just want I wanted to talk about something that you're definitely probably not going to hear much of from the mainstream media, the corporate media, um, because for them, they're owned by Pfizer, as we've established many times before here on this show. But the cannabis, apparently, cannabis compounds prevent the virus that causes COVID-19 from penetrating healthy human cells.
Is that right?
Yes, according to a study published in the Journal of Nature Products.
Oh my.
The two compounds commonly found in hemp, called cannabigerolic acid, or CBGA, and cannabidiolic
All
acid,
right.
or CBDA, were identified during a screening effort as having a potential to combat coronavirus. Researchers from Oregon State University have said in the study they bound to spike proteins found on the virus and blocked a step the pathogen uses to infect people. The researchers tested the compound's effect against alpha and beta variants of the virus in a laboratory. The study didn't involve giving the supplements to people or comparing infection rates in those who used the compounds to those who didn't. Now, a lot of people just sort of vilify hemp and marijuana, whatever, but hemp is a source of food, fiber, and animal feed, and its extracts are commonly added to cosmetics, lotions, dietary supplements, and food. So I think this is good. This is good news for the not just the Cheech and Chongs of the world, but for everybody.
Yeah. Okay.
So I absolutely agree with that. So everybody, uh, get what I good friend Tommy Williams. Get what I good friend Tommy Williams and get you some of that CBD oil.
Again, he is not. We are not paid to endorse this product. We're just saying this is where what the news has said about it, and we've got a local guy who will supply your need.
Yes, yes. But it just goes to show you once again a lot of the absurdity of the war on drugs in this country. We've spent decades throwing people away for decades who had cannabis, who had hemp. Uh, we've had it classified as a Schedule One drug with cocaine and other drugs for 70, 80 years. And let me remind you, the reason that marijuana is illegal in this country, okay, because it wasn't always. The founding fathers thought that whatever you put in your body was your own business.
Uh-huh.
That's what a lot of people don't understand. Drug laws are relatively recent in American history.
Right.
They came in the early 20th century.
This is true.
So Harry Anslinger, who was the drug czar in the 1920s and 30s, he at some point got the idea that cannabis was going to be used by black men and Hispanic men to entice white women. And they called them jazz cigarettes. They were going to entice white women with jazz music and jazz cigarettes.
Oh.
And so that just goes to show you the sort of absurdity of these drug laws that we have in this country. But there's been real consequences. There are brothers who served decades in jail just for having cannabis. And now you see people in the cannabis field selling medical marijuana who are cleaning up, Rev.
Yeah. Yep. Some folk are cleaning up, and some folk got took to the cleaners.
Yes. I'm glad to see there have been a few black people who've gotten involved after all these years we've been getting locked up for it. Mike Tyson has Tyson University. Have you heard this?
No.
Yes, Mike Tyson has Tyson University, where he is a medical hemp grower, and he teaches other people how to grow hemp medical marijuana and to profit off of it.
Okay.
Al Harrington, who played in the NBA for a long time, he is now one of the biggest medical marijuana growers in America. And he actually tells the story of his grandmother. His grandmother, when she was I think she had cataracts, and he actually gave his grandmother some marijuana, and within like a few hours She went from not being able to see at all to reading her Bible, of being able to read her Bible again. And he said she was crying and praying, thanking Jesus that she's finally able to read her Bible again. So this drug has always had medicinal purposes behind it. I'm not saying people have only used it for medicinal reasons, but it is not the sort of Schedule 1 dangerous drug that the mainstream media and our politicians and law enforcement have characterized it to be for the last 7 or 8 decades. And it's really unfortunate to see how many people's lives have been thrown away in fighting this war on drugs, to for the sole purpose really of keeping people locked up. Let's just be real. African Americans are the most incarcerated people on planet Earth, particularly African American men, more than anybody. We're incarcerated more than anybody, and the vilification of marijuana and the sort of prohibition of marijuana has been a big part of that. Let's go back to the phone lines. Hello, caller.
Oh.
Hello, caller.
Hello.
Hey, gentlemen, how you guys doing?
It's all good, brother. Now that you on.
Good weed, yeah. But the federal government is the reason why we got all this weed in this country, because they use that for rope during the war.
Yeah.
So they planted all this stuff. So they should be one of them being locked up because they're the ones that planted it. But anyway, Indiana used to have a lot of wild weed going down I-65, because they used to catch a lot of people parking the cars on I-65 down there, picking them everyone out there. They used to bust a whole lot of them.
I remember hearing about that, when I was younger.
Right, when they was building I-65, man, it was cars parked all along both sides of I-65. They was out there picking like cherries or something. Yeah. That was most of the other people that was picking it too. It wasn't us out there too much.
Well, I even heard stories that, like, sometimes they would find the field and they'd burn it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they did. A couple of police, I think the state police mostly burned a lot of it. I don't know where they took it to burn it, because if it's close to where it was burning, you just high on, I guess.
Yeah. I heard that.
Well,
thank you for your call. Well, thank you for your call, sir.
Yes, sir.
Call back anytime.
Always.
Yes, I absolutely. I never heard that. I never heard about the sort of local connection that we had to marijuana growing here in this country.
Oh yeah, Indiana got a lot of it going wild out of 65, going toward between here and Lafayette.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Thank you for your call, sir.
Thank you.
And we do have to go to a break. And what would you know? What would you know was the first commercial up? I guess you guys will see in a minute. So please give us a call, 219-885-1371. The number again is 219-885-1371. We got about 20 minutes left in the show. Now, I'm telling you guys, do not wait till 7:55 to call. I am not picking up the phone after about 7:53 or 7:54. So please do not call. If you got something to say, speak now or forever hold your peace.